Hello fellow academics and welcome to Gear Haven. In this episode we're gonna focus on expanding our power supply, making things a little bit easier for us. The biggest part being to unlock the Badwater Dome. Now when we look at our resources up here, we do have almost 300 gears, that's exactly what we need. We need 200 metal blocks from what I remember and 50 explosives, so we're basically ready. And I'm going to start it off by placing it down right away because yes, we do have the science. As you remember, in the last episode, we added a second number cruncher in there, which definitely helps us in getting things ready. Right. We also want to go ahead and expand our power production with our large water wheels. So let's go ahead and add more levees in there. And then making sure space of two, one up here. There we go. That should also allow us, for the most part, basically to place down a dynamite right there. But we might want to optimize that a little bit more, making sure we're getting a few more pieces of dynamite in that we can utilize. You are set to be closed. We are in a drought, so right now is actually a really good time of doing this. So let's go ahead and put a staircase in here as well. And then set up a path down into this area. All right. Now that should allow us overall to attempting placing dynamite at the bottom of the map. Okay. Sorry about that. So that should allow us to relatively easily place all our single dynamites in here. I think we're just going to extend this. I guess for now that is fine, but might just go ahead and remove that entire bottom layer. We will need to do the same on the other side, but I don't quite think we're gonna get there in this drought with all the dynamite that is being needed, but we'll see. Time for a sip of coffee. Speaking of, would be nice to give our beavers some coffee supply. But yeah, they might need to wait a little bit longer for all of that. All right. So let's see. You guys are still placing all the material in there, but I think I do want to higher prioritize all the dynamite down here. Because yeah, I think in the long run that will help us a little bit more, and we will be able to place the next large power wheel in there relatively quickly. It will be a little bit, we'll need a little bit of fiddling to get the power shafts in here. And while I think last time I said it would be nice to keep a walkway on top of these levees, I think putting it on the other side might make a little bit more sense. Because if we connect all of this up, we have direct power supply into this area, which will be quite good. And we still save the space here for the potential additional farmland. Well, that could be quite useful. All right. So how is this coming along? Still a ton of stuff that needs to be put in. I can actually unpause one of our builder huts. We had 4 unemployed beavers, and that's obviously not okay. Meaning our population has risen a little bit, and we are completely out of baby beavers. So the Iron Teeth have managed to get to the point where they wanted to be. A bit sad, but you know, whatever they need to do. All right, dynamite is coming in here nicely. All the dynamite is up there. Oh, look at that. We're at probably have, well, just about enough metal blocks. As our smelter here and back there are still producing more. I think that'll be quite nice. Having the free scavenger flags, not too bad, but actually we don't need all 3 of them. 2 should be doing the job just fine. So let's pause one of these. We also just had another beaver die of old age. So that'll also be quite beneficial. Still keeping an eye on the food. We're doing okay in terms of kohlrabi. There doesn't seem to be any other food for us, which is a bit of a bummer. What I can do though is place a... we do have a bit of canola seed already up and running. So let's add a bit more just up here. And then we need to figure out where we're actually going to put our canola seed press or oil press. You do need power, but only 50. So that's not too bad. I mean, kind of up here would be nice, to be honest. But how do we get power up there? Alright, we might just replace one of the gear workshops. Actually, we can do that already. Don't need that many anymore. Because right now we have, yeah, plenty of gear workshops, to be honest. So let me go ahead and unlock the oil press. There it is. Should actually first clean up all of this. Logs and planks. I think that'll be quite good. How's this coming along? Oh, only 4 more gears. We definitely have those. And then they could, in theory, get down there. I mean, not if we open this up. Right. How is our dynamite production going? I think that is the bigger question. Cover a bad water source on the map using one of the dedicated buildings. Cap. Oh, couldn't quite reach it, but that tells me our bad water discharge is in. Awesome. And I'm really hoping that we can use the overhangs. Nope. We cannot. Ah, bummer. That would have been so nice. Placing it in there and putting the overhang right on top to sort all of that area out. That would have been great. Maybe we will actually just place it just one level higher. Like, if we're doing this. Could even go a little bit further, to be honest. Maximum length. And building it all up here. That would allow us to expand our buildable area up here. Now you can't be placed here. Okay, that makes sense. But this one would still fit in. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right. So this is all in. You guys, what happened actually to our explosive factory? You do have basically enough power to run at full capacity, but we're out of bad water. That's what the problem is. All right, so it is time to pause the stairs and just open this up, which means we will now have power during our drought. Awesome. Technically, we also don't need this guy anymore. We 3 unemployed beavers. How did that happen? I guess, no. You're technically not unemployed. Let me restart this builder hut as well. Set you, though, on the lowest priority. And then things can still move on. Alright. Power supply is coming in, but it's not the power supply that we needed. It is properly the bad water pump. We also need that actually for our extract. so we can make sure our beavers are still growing. So that's definitely a necessity that we needed to build up. All right. Let's go ahead and place a levee over here just so we can cross without having to demolish the smelter. 3 planks up here. I guess we're storing all the metal blocks there. Need to figure something better out, especially if we are moving our smelters into this corner right here. But, you know, future worries. All right. For now, we can actually, let's just make our life easier. Put another entire levee system in there. And then gonna go ahead and connect this up. Already. That should be overall doable. There we go. And you guys shouldn't be blocking yourself, I hope. We'll see. We're doing okay again overall in terms of planks. Gears are still going up slowly, but steadily, and that's the important part. Let's actually now put the oil press in here. And again, temporarily in this corner. I think that'll be okay. And I will actually high prioritize you as well. Because once the oil press is in, we can start making better use of our soybeans and making fermented soybeans. I do really want to look into why you would need oil and soybeans to make fermented soybeans. Because it's usually an anaerobic process. I actually need to look that up. But yeah, fermentation with salt water makes a ton of sense. And I feel like that would have been a very easy thing to implement. Get like a salt mine into this game and then utilize some of the water to ferment food. I mean, it was technically used to prolong the expiration, so to speak, of your food. So you'd be in a better situation overall. But yeah, I don't know. There's no food decay in Timberborn. Oh, look at that. Power wheel is in. It's also fully connected, which means we also have enough power to reactivate the number crunchers. Yeah, look at that. Power supply 2,700, and I guess it is the end of the day. So, oh look, it's actually not overflowing. So let's go ahead and put the staircase back in. And I think I will go in here and change the priorities a little bit. Alright, we still want you to be on the highest priority. We won't quite be able to reach that middle part. We will ideally destroy all of this and high prioritize all of these, and the rest we should be kind of okay to get to. Let's actually, there we go. Alright, and the rest we can kind of build up as we get closer to it. Need to make sure we have an okay like turnaround here in the back, because I'm thinking we're running the power back up here. And then this might not become a walkway, but just another placement area for our large water wheels. That might make a ton of sense, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Water supply still looking overall okay. This has gone down a decent amount, actually. So getting the oil press in, definitely useful, and then we can turn on the fermenter, because this way we're just supplying a bit more food to our beavers, and hopefully we'll do a little bit better overall when it comes to that. What are you storing? Planks. Guess that makes sense. We do have a bit of scrap metal here. I don't think we need that. I'm just wondering if we should add a bit more berry storage, to be honest. And we're storing our planks up here. Some of them, at least. Which means we could actually turn this into berry storage. Or actually the gears. Let's do the gears. Alright, and turn this into berry storage. There we go. We also don't need to store the metal blocks here. But you are a industrial pile. So are you. So I won't be able to replace you with the berry storage. At least not right away. Alright. We have a lumberjack here. 2 here that get to basically everything. The thing with the... Maybe it is time to find a slightly different spot for you, so you will actually reach those last few trees. And if we stop replanting those... this one tree... nope, it wouldn't be in here, it would be in there. We can still put a staircase up this way and plant a few more trees on the way. In the long term, we'll probably also want a little bit more of the mangroves for some space to work with. But yeah, future worries. Definitely future worries. All right. I've removed that small industrial pile. We'll replace you with a small warehouse. Because again, a bit more berry storage, probably a good idea. You're also almost full. All right. Oh, Robbie is doing really well again. Crazy. I guess because we're adding more and more food supplies, they start eating the rest. Or like the other stuff first. Kind of makes sense. One thing that I would really still like to see, and I don't know if there are any plans for that, having one of the levees that actually pushes power through. Because it would be so nice to be able to bring our power in here, basically through underneath. But then all the water would like just flow out. And that I don't want to see. But yeah, future worries, future worries. All right. So we are getting there with our explosives. Still waiting for a few more. Bad water is seeming okay. We're also making a good amount of extract again. So our beaver population is ready to run. Or ready to keep running. And now the drought has ended. We're in the regular season. Just need to keep an eye on this area. Because once it pops over, we need to prevent our beavers from running down here. That would be very detrimental for their health. Or overall well-being, I guess. Alright. But things are coming along. Nicely, I want to say. The new staircases kind of look fun. I mean, look how small the area is. The only downside, like I mentioned in the last episode, I forgot to actually put a path in there. Is if you build it like this, you won't ever have an exit out of anywhere. It's just a bit of a bummer. I guess if you place them like here, because here you could go sideways. If I would have put the next winding, what are they called, spiral staircase over on this side instead of here, we would have had another level to get out there. Maybe that is the way to build these. They are using the shortcut, but now I kind of want to try. So let's give it a try. All right. So if we're going to go ahead, build a double staircase here, a double staircase, a double platform here. We can put that in there. Put another double one here and right next to it as well. That in there. Double, double. And then double. That's actually not too bad, to be honest. And that still allows us to get... Oh. Need to stop you guys. The water is coming out. Look at that. I guess we could pause this. And I think I actually will. Because I do want to sort this out. And then even if there is kind of liquid down here, it will all be regular water, which means our beavers won't suffer from it. Still wish that was a little bit more smooth in terms of how much water flows over. But I guess there's not, I didn't give them a lot of area back here to work with. Anyways. What was I talking about before? I have forgotten. Alright. So, hold on. You need to have a path here. So we will be able, in theory, if we place, no, not you. If we place the platform here. Oh, I forgot why I didn't actually connect this up. There we go. So if we place a platform here, we can go there. If we place a double platform here, we can go there. And then another like set of platforms on top there. We'll be able to get out here and so on and so on. So that actually works out pretty well. Okay, I think this will be the staircase system that I'm going to be using from now on. You could even use that properly for power storage. But how would you get the power up and down, basically? Yeah, maybe not for power storage. I think having the vertical power shaft in the middle makes a bit more sense. Maybe we'll try that out at a later point. All right. You are almost done, actually, here. That is nice. How is the power doing? Power supply is, well, bouncing around a little bit. But we are getting close to that level, or we are most of the time above the level that we actually need. It's still because this is going back and forth. But that should stabilize any minute now. I don't quite understand this part here. Because where's all the water going? That should have stabilized a long time ago. I mean, I like the wave down there. That should still have stabilized a long time ago. Anyways. Alright. They're still working on all of that. Let's go ahead and make sure our beavers get a little bit more of happiness. Look, the fermented the cassavas, the fermented soybeans are in though. Which I don't think we have a storage for yet. Nope, I'll take it back. We do. We also have a storage technically for the mangrove fruit, but it doesn't really get used. Good times, good times. And I'm wondering if a lot of the problems I'm having at the moment is because of a lack of storage. It honestly might be. Huh. So maybe that's something to figure out. All right. Why are you guys taking so long to build these? You're fully powered. Oh, silly me. All right, time to remove you again. And actually, we should be okay just not putting this back in. So let's go ahead and detonate all of these. And then we do need one more dynamite block here. And now we can open this up again. Because, yeah, we just ran out of bad water. Oh boy. Alright, with that coming in, we can also go ahead and plan to expand our levee system. I guess up to here will be fine. Need to make sure at the end that this won't flood if we're running more stuff through here. But we'll see. We'll see. Alright. Nonetheless, bad water is coming in. We still have these waves. That's been going on for days. I think this should have stabilized a long time ago. It's not like there'll be less water coming out of here. Something's not quite right. Anyways. Minor issues, definitely minor issues. Oh, you are in. Let's detonate you. And I guess I don't really need to explode these away. Yeah, what was I thinking? And then put the levees on top of here. Right. We also don't need to explode this one away. 1, 2. Yeah, I don't think this one needs to be gone. So let's put you here. Put the large power wheel on top. That looks good. And then 1, 2. We don't need you to be gone. So there we go. Levee on top. Power wheel on here. And probably means we should be... Actually, hold on. I don't need to explode the ones in here then anymore either. I should have thought this through a bit more. Alright, these still need to go. Alright. So let's go ahead. We will want to put another levee system here, and then we just add a bit more space in the back there with double dynamite. Yeah, and I think if we just do that, we'll overall be okay. The water will need to get out of here, so we can actually just leave this area open and then run another levee system up the other way. Bit worried about the flooding, but actually it should be fine. It should be fine. All right, beavers are busy. Already putting all of that stuff in here. Very nice. Actually, if we're not opening this up, maybe for now at least, I'll leave a path in there so we can still walk around without having to worry about where stuff is. All right. I'm very happy with the bad water discharge. It definitely helps a ton. All of this is topped up. Food supply still doing good. Water supply might be going down a little bit. I wonder actually if we're pausing our steam engines now. Ooh. There's a bit of bad water overflow. Crazy. But I guess, yeah, makes sense-ish. We could even put a bit more power up here and utilize that later. But, you know, future worries. Definitely future worries. Although if we are putting the power up here, we could build some food factories up here, which might actually be a good spot. Because I am thinking of growing the necessary food that we need up there. Wait. How? How is this all contaminated? Really? Oh, man. Because of this one piece, all of the stuff down here gets destroyed. Ah. All right, let's see if we can kind of figure this out. All right, but with that, I'm going to call it an episode. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.